Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Bailey.
And this is Brianna.
Oh, and we have a little guest, Gannon. Gannon, can you say hi? No, nothing. Okay. Today I am drinking, I have a concoction of things. So we are doing the raspberry element, and then there's a company called Buoy. They have a couple different like squeezers. They almost look like the Mio squeezers, and they have like a trace mineral ones, they have like a salt one, they have a digestive one, a brain health. So I've been a little bloated lately, and I was like, okay, I got one of each. So I'm just gonna try it. Good ingredients and everything. And I did the digestive one yesterday and it worked really well. I feel a lot better this morning. So,
Ooh,
and plus creatine.
all the things. I need to try those. I'm drinking a recess again. I was actually really excited because my store got all of them. Like now they have all the mocktails, a bunch
Okay.
of the different flavors. So like I tried the tropical. There's like in a blue can, a tropical one the other day. It was actually really good. So I think that's my new favorite. But yeah, I'm doing the raspberry lemon today.
We still don't have the mocktail ones at Fresh Time. I looked the other day.
Yeah. I mean, before that, I could only find them on Amazon. But yeah, I went down the aisle the other day and I was like, oh, like, what is this? They had like the mojito, they had all kinds of stuff. So I was like, oh, perfect. And then yeah, they had a ton of flavors and they now sell them in the case
Oh, that's nice. So you don't
instead of just the cans. But yeah, so that's what I'm sipping on.
Perfect. Yeah, I've just been like loading up smoothies and drinks. This life has been crazy per usual. So I'm like, whatever I can get in one, that's how we're gonna do things right now.
I'm trying to do that too because I feel like when it's cold, I barely drink anything. Like I've been drinking maybe one Stanley a day. And I'm like, I need to knock this off. But yeah, so now I'm like, just okay, put everything in it that I need. So at least if I'm underhydrating, I get all the things.
Yes. And that's like, I feel like when I was pregnant, I was so thirsty. Like I was drinking minimum 120 ounces of water a
Yeah.
day. And then, I mean, I had them in June and then it kind of got, I mean, didn't really get chilly right away, but I mean, postpartum was just wild.
Yeah.
And then it came winter and yeah, my water naturally started to decline too. So that's been one of my commitments lately is we're getting the water in because
Yeah.
man, it makes a difference when you're actually hydrated and especially when you add in those electrolytes.
It really does. It really does. He's all, yeah, I love being
Yeah, it
hydrated.
does. Duh, mom.
How hard is it?
Yeah. And now he's in the phase of like he wants to drink anything of mine with a straw. So he's been really trying that.
He's all, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just see them like staring at your stuff.
Yes.
It's like, I want it.
All right. So today we are talking about anti-nutrients. I don't think it's something that's talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if I wouldn't be a dietitian, I don't know where I would have actually heard the term anti-nutrients.
Yeah.
So, just starting with the basics, what are they? What are we talking about today exactly? Anti-nutrients are basically natural compounds found in your plant-based foods that they can actually interfere with your body's ability to absorb certain vitamins and minerals. But the thing is, these foods that contain anti-nutrients are also some of the like best foods you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So some people can think like, oh, anti-nutrients, we need to avoid those foods because they're blocking absorption of certain things. Not exactly. They're not like a bad thing. You just need to understand how they work and how to reduce their impact. And that's where like that's what's going to be helpful. You don't need to just avoid them.
I think it's becoming more of like a buzzword, and I don't know what started it. I don't know if it was like the carnivore diet or all the ones that are like you don't need any plants or plants or vegetables because this, and then also they have anti-nutrients, which makes them sound really scary, right? It's like, oh my gosh, if I eat this, then I'm canceling out other nutrients. But like Bailey said, that's not true. And these are usually found in foods that are very high in multiple nutrients. So just because they have anti-nutrients doesn't mean you need to be afraid of them. And it also doesn't mean that they're going to impact you, because there's some people that some of these don't even impact. So we'll kind of go over like common ones, what they're found in, their effects, and then at the end we'll give you like some methods of decreasing these anti-nutrients if you are concerned about them.
The first one I would say, like this one is pretty common. I feel like a lot of people have heard about this, especially in like beauty products, of phytates or phytic acid. So these are typically found in whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Phytates are going to bind to your minerals like iron, zinc, calcium, and magnesium. So when we're saying like they're binding to these minerals, it means it's making it harder for your body to absorb them. So things you can do like soaking, sprouting, or fermenting these foods will actually reduce the phytates. So if you like soak your oats overnight or sprout your lentils, you're lowering the phytate levels, making the nutrients more bioavailable.
The next one is going to be, I feel like this one is a big buzz one, is the oxalates. So these are found in spinach. And that's where everyone's like, oh my gosh, spinach is actually so bad. I actually watched a TikTok about this girl going on for like 3 minutes about how spinach is the worst food that you could eat. And like the conspiracy theory around people treating spinach as a health food. It was very strange. And then I was like, great. Now my algorithm is gonna, is gonna be this.
And then all those videos pop up for like days.
Yes. Oh my God.
Anytime you see someone promoting to like not eat a fruit or a vegetable, you should probably just unfollow them. They might have some good information, but I think a lot of them get popular because it's like a shock.
Yeah.
But they're really not telling the whole story there most of the time.
No. So yeah, if you come across someone who's like screaming at you not to eat spinach, it's totally fine. I think the benefits outweigh the possible risks of oxalates, but it's in spinach, it's in beef, nuts, and then certain berries. So they bind to calcium and potentially lead to like kidney stone formation in sensitive individuals. So if you are someone who, you know, you're constantly have kidney stones, you form them very easily. Okay, maybe I would watch my intake of the oxalates so that you don't have a bunch of kidney stones, because anyone that's ever had them, it's painful. But something that you can do to help the oxalates or reduce the oxalates is things like cooking. So boiling, steaming, roasting, those can help. And then also removing peels of certain things, but most of those don't have peels. So I would say cook your spinach, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Steam.
no, I've had some people that are like prone to kidney stones. And so as we're trying
Mm.
to figure out what's going on there, that is something like we'll do kind of like a low oxalate, but they don't have to completely eliminate like the spinach, the beets, the almonds, sweet potatoes, and everything. We just kind of reduce it. And like you said, cooking the spinach will help too.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, when you look at things like spinach, beets, I don't know if people are really eating a ton of those.
Yeah.
I mean, some people love spinach, like that's a daily thing. And so, yeah, if you're, that's totally fine. But yeah, thinking like normally, I think the amount of spinach most people are eating is going to be okay.
Yes. Another one you guys have probably heard of is lectins. So lectins are going to be found in your beans, lentils, peanuts, tomatoes, and wheat. These can actually cause like the digestive discomfort if you're eating them in large amounts, but especially if the food is raw. And I feel like a lot of people commonly experience this, like it's always the beans are causing issues. So what you can do is soak and cook like beans and lentils, which can pretty much eliminates the lectins. So that's one way how you can counteract those.
Another thing too, like it's not cooking, but it does help break it down. Like for beans, for example, like soaking your beans helps to break those down. Or like for some people that feel like they're really sensitive to this, I just have them do canned. Just do canned beans. Don't, I mean, I know how cheap beans are and how easy I'm not gonna say easy to make from scratch. They are easy, but it's time consuming.
I've never done it actually.
Yeah, it's like it's just so cheap and it's like, okay, this really isn't that hard, but it is time consuming. Yeah, for those, I'm like, okay, if you really want to cook them, soak them really well, or yeah, just go to canned.
I always use canned. I've never made beans from scratch.
I don't love doing it. I'm just like, why?
Yes.
The next is going to be tannins. So this is another popular one. It's found in like tea, coffee, legumes, and then some fruits. So these are known to reduce iron absorption, which can be an issue, right? Like if you need to absorb your iron, which we all do. But I think for this, it's just going to be avoiding drinking coffee and tea when you're trying to eat like an iron rich meal, or again, combine it with something like vitamin C. So increasing vitamin C, so it helps your iron absorption, kind of counteracts everything. Not counteracts, but you know, I mean, yeah, if you're really anemic, I probably wouldn't drink tea or coffee when I'm taking my iron supplement or eating my iron rich meal.
Yes. Yeah. Or yeah, like you mentioned the vitamin C. So vitamin C helps your body to absorb iron. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere like that's why tomatoes started being put on burgers because they have vitamin C in it. So you absorb that iron there.
It's also why, like, I don't think we do this anymore, but it used to be super, super common to have cereal with orange juice, like not orange juice in your cereal, but like breakfast, I have a bowl of cereal and I have a glass of orange juice. It's because the cereal is fortified and then you drink it with orange juice and it helps the absorption. So, you know, I didn't think about that for like burgers. That's actually kind of cool.
I feel like there's always a reason for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes things are just random, but you know, I feel like it's usually
People have figured it out. Oh, just do this.
yes. So goitrogens, they are found in your cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, and these can actually interfere with iodine absorption. And that can potentially affect your thyroid function, but only if you're already iodine deficient. So honestly, like again, cooking these veggies reduces their goitrogen levels. And if you're eating balanced meals, you're probably getting enough iodine to offset any issues there.
Also, if you're using iodized salt, which most people are. And this is another one where I'm like, I really hope people aren't seeing this and being like, oh my gosh, it's so bad for my thyroid health, because you need those cruciferous vegetables for like your liver, you know, for your estrogen detox pathways. Like there's so much more beneficial to eat them than to avoid them. And there's plenty of people that have thyroid issues that are totally fine eating cruciferous vegetables. I think with all of these, the moral of the story is like, it's going to be okay. I don't know. I don't know where this came out. I don't know. People are like, yeah, because we learned about it in school, but it was never anything like crazy.
Yeah. And I think it can also be confusing because I've also seen things on like TikTok where it's like, don't cook your vegetables, you're losing nutrients and everything. At the end of the day, I say eat them how your body likes them, like how you tolerate them, how do you enjoy them. That's fine. Like, don't over stress about it because, yeah, like if you're steaming something or like boiling it in water, you're going to lose water soluble vitamins, and that's fine. But just eat them how you're going to enjoy them. It's better than not eating them at all.
Yeah.
And not overdoing it. Like, let's not just eat carrots all day. Let's get a variety of different foods. And speaking of like iodine rich foods that we just mentioned here, you're also going to get iodine from seafood, dairy products, eggs, you already mentioned the iodized salt, even like lima beans. Those will all be sources of iodine that you can include. So those are good ones as well. Really, you just want balance.
Yeah, you want balance and you want like a diverse diet, you know, as many fruits and vegetables, whole foods as you can. I think what is this? There was a study done on like the most healthiest people, or like what you have to consume per week to have like all the vitamins, minerals, and stuff that you need to live optimally. I think it was like 30 different fruits and vegetables a week, which sounds like a lot, but if you're thinking like this is all coming from like fruits, vegetables, nuts, beans, grains, like you can get that in. But I think the more and more you pull out because you're so worried about maybe adverse effects, the more damage it actually does. So if you were just like, okay, I know it can do this. If I frequently have kidney stones, I'm going to cut back on the spinach, or I'm going to boil it, you know, or whatever it is. If you're worried about your iron absorption, you're going to switch it up a little bit, but trying just to get a bunch of different nutrients in is going to be better than always just trying to avoid something.
So yeah, just a quick review. Your anti-nutrients are going to be your phytates, your oxalates, your lectins, your tannins, your goitrogens. Those are your anti-nutrients. Should you worry about them? I mean, honestly, no, I would not. This is not something that you need to lose sleep over or anything. If you're getting that varied, balanced diet, you're not dealing with any major like nutrient deficiencies, there's no reason to avoid anti-nutrient containing foods because like Brianna said at the beginning, the benefits of eating your whole grains, your legumes, your nuts and seeds, vegetables is going to outweigh the risk here. Now, and like we did say, if you are at risk for iron deficiency anemia or like thyroid issues, then yes, maybe pay a little bit more attention to how you're preparing your meals. Again, you don't have to completely avoid it, But using the techniques like the soaking, the sprouting, the fermenting, and cooking can help reduce those anti-nutrients to help your body absorb more nutrients. And as always, if you need more personalized advice, just work with someone, then they can help you.
So the idea is moderation where it's needed. What can I add in to help absorption and other scenarios? So yeah.
Just remember, soak your beans, cook your leafy greens, pair your iron with your vitamin C, and time your coffee or tea. If you're struggling with iron levels, don't drink coffee or tea right after a meal. Wait an hour or two. That way you can get the most out of those iron rich foods too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just separate them. So I think that's the biggest thing to take from it. And if you come across a video on TikTok demonizing eggs or spinach, you can just scroll on by quickly, because then your algorithm is going to be built on anti-nutrient fear mongering.
Sometimes I will like watch those videos to get ideas for things that we need to talk about on the podcast or that I'll share on my Instagram or something. But then it's like my whole feed is that. And then I get deep in the weeds and then it's like, man, I'm confused now.
I know. And then I'm like reading the comments. I'm like, wow, people are like very opinionated and passionate about these things. Like, should I be more concerned? And it's so funny because I always think about that. Like, we both have masters in nutrition. So that's like a, upper level education of something. And I feel like if me and you are going through TikTok and we're finding ourselves like rethinking things or sometimes getting confused, I always think like, what is everybody else doing?
But then normal people.
Yeah.
Going through your brains.
They're probably like, oh my gosh. And, and I say it all the time. I think people are trying to make the best choices for their health. Like people really do want to be healthy and they want to do the right thing. And so it's very frustrating when you have all this conflicting information where it's like, well, what do I do? Because everything is killing me and everything is good for me all at the same time.
And one of the goals of us creating this podcast was to give you clarity, give you simplicity. That's why we don't sit here for over an hour talking about things. We try and keep it your short mocktail minutes and give you what exactly you need. So yeah, we will be holding our first mastermind workshop this month in January. The topic is going to be 25 and fine. So like the year 2025, but also like let's feel 25 again. I feel like that's a good age where most people felt really good.
Yeah, like nothing was a concern. That's like an age where like sleep is cool. If you don't get sleep, you're still fine. You can still tolerate alcohol. It doesn't really matter what you eat. You just feel good.
We're going to give you tips around like how to feel 25 again, because so I was trying to think of like a good age, like what's an age that people feel good at. I'm like, there's like 18, but 18, that was a weird time for a lot of people.
Yeah, no one feels good like emotionally at 18. I feel like 25, you're like, okay, I feel good. I agree. I think it'll be good. So look out for more information on that. We'll definitely post about it. We'll do it on our personal Instagrams, but mostly everything is going to be over at Mocktail Minutes. So if you're not following it, go follow it. And yeah, we'll drop those details soon so that you guys can be a part of it.
All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day. I hope no one else is in the snow apocalypse. If you hate the snow like I do, Brianna is complaining about 40-degree weather.
I know. I'm all 42. When I woke up, it was 21, but it's fine. It's 42 now. It's not the same. I get it.
Oh, we're at 18 right now. So
I would die. Like you text or you commented on my story yesterday and you're like, it's literally 5 degrees here. And I was like, I would actually die. Like just so everyone is clear, like I would not survive.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully everyone is safe out there. I know a lot of people are dealing with like snowstorms. It's icy, it's cold. So hopefully everyone's okay.
40 degrees in Texas.
40 degrees. We're over here like our store, all of our grocery stores are completely out of eggs. Everyone was like panicking. They're like, we're out of eggs. A bunch of water is taken. Everyone's panicking about their pipes bursting. Like, and then I'm thinking of like places like Missouri. I'm like, it's like a normal day, like business as usual.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because I lived in Iowa for 2 years when I was in grad school. And to see how like they handle snow versus how we handle snow. And then I was in Springfield for undergrad. It's all very different. Like what we have now, like we have like 10 inches right now. And that's literally how Iowa was from November till March. Is awful.
My sister-in-law lived in Iowa. She went to Iowa State. And I remember being like, don't ask me to come see you any months that it's snowing. Because what the heck? How are you guys like? She had like a little kid at the time too. And she's like, yeah, we like do it. Like,
It's terrible. And they're like, because they're used to it. Everyone walks still. Like everyone just has snow boots. I bought like good walking snow boots when I lived in Iowa.
I think that's the difference. Like I was thinking like yesterday I was getting my steps in and I was in like thin little spandex workout pants. And I was like, you know what? This is probably where one area I went wrong. I was like, I don't think I have any like cold weather pants because it's literally above 80 degrees for like 50 weeks out of the year. Yeah, I was like, maybe I could have done this differently, like not wearing like super thin spandex pants.
Yeah. I mean, next time you'll know.
Yeah, next time. Like, what? But yeah, so stay safe out there, guys.
All right. We will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.